guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a channel where we talk about fragrances and arts. I wanted to talk to you about aquatic fragrance, more specifically mineral fragrances, and Bdk Sel d'argent, which is an amazing example which I wore today of a mineral fragrance. And what is interesting about Bdk Sel d'argent and other mineral fragrance, I use this genre of fragrance to try to mimic the skin, and in the best way possible, hopefully. Some do it better than others. And I have a stock of fragrances here that are taking this blue approach, this mineral approach, and Sel d'argent, which I thought was worth a review. And the reason why I thought it was worth a review is because I feel it represents a genre, like I was saying. This sort of maritime, mineral, aromatic fragrance that really is interesting in this particular one. So Bdk is a French house, a niche French house, and each of their fragrance is sort of predicated by a beautiful prose, like it is typical of French houses. And this one is really famous. I want to read that. Late afternoon on the rocks of the Isles of Beauty, the silver sea glimmers under the fading light. Our last swim was barely an hour ago, and I can still taste the salt on my skin. The waves are subsiding little by little, and the moon, discreet, is rising in the sky as the red sun sets. On the way home, the scent of the fig trees perfumes the early evening, and the fresh, clear sea air already signals the wistfulness of the end of summer. This conveys, I would say that this is the right name for it. It absolutely conveys skin. There is no question about it. It conveys salty skin, and I'm having a hard time not smelling, not tasting, to see. It's a very close to the skin fragrance. It's a very intimate fragrance. It's a very minimalist fragrance. So it opens with a citrus, open with bergamot and grapefruit and that sea salt note. Right off the bat, you can get the sea salt. It's almost a little bit like you're in a small fishing village on the Mediterranean. That's the experience it conveys. So I don't want to say fishy, because fishy sounds like it's smelly. It's not, but it is. You definitely get the ocean wave in a small village, in a beautiful romantic small village. You definitely get that at first spray on this. And then the fragrance continues with a scent of flower, which comes with the ylang ylang and the orange blossom. So now, but it never really veered to being a flower fragrance. It just remained pretty much the bergamot and the citrus. And then the base is the white musk and something that gives it a sort of sweet salt. So the salt is never really kind of sweet and salty. Other things that are, galbanum and emboxen, and I think these are the type of notes that's giving it this sort of salty character to it. We can say about this fragrance, it's minimalist. It never veered to something extraordinary. So when I smell this one, what I could think about are my other ones, right? Turquoise, and Eau de Merveille. This one was the first aquatic fragrance I had, and it's very fruity and flowery. It could literally give aquatic fragrance a bad name, and at the same time it's sweet. It's not the most comfortable fragrance to wear. I managed to wear it nicely when I was on the beach, but that's about the only time I can wear it. But anyway, I was really happy to discover this other one, Eau de Merveille, which really is the one that I think I would compare my Bdk Sel d'Argent with, except that this one feels like the Bdk on steroid. This one is like done one on the beach, you know, just trying to get the... There is this passage in the Don Juan that says, "Sooner shall this blue ocean melt to air, sooner shall earth revolve itself to sea, then I resign thy image." So that's very powerful, like very potent. It's like Eau de Merveille is mineral captured in the air, the water deep drilling into the ocean. That's doing a lot. Eau de Merveille is doing a lot. From the very beginning, it's this burst of citrus, it's this burst of moss, it's this burst of everything. Whereas this one just remains totally intimate, minimalist. So if you are not into the minimalist type, I don't think you would want to spend your money on Sel d'Argent. But if you can appreciate something very light, very composed, very intimate, for a mineral aromatic fragrance, that is the one that's going to be the one that you can stand the most. This one is almost doing too much until toward the end, where it sort of subsides a bit and become a little bit more wearable. Both of them are very long lasting, but this one remains very close to the skin, whereas this one has sillage galore. And it's big sillage, big water splash, whereas this one just remains a beautiful walk by the beach. You never actually get yourself in the water, but you look beautiful and it's romantic. So an ode to romance, I would say. Bdk Sel d'Argent. And did it remind me of other fragrance? It reminds me somehow of this other blue fragrance I have, Whisper of Time by House of Sillage, in a sense that this one has the citrus to it. It's also interesting to bring in passing other approach to how perfumers try to capture skin. You know, the smell of skin, you know. I think Tom Ford is the other house that really, and actually Estée Lauder is the other house that really tried to bring the skin on the surface. I think the original one was Soleil Blanc, which tried to bring skin, but skin that's being kissed by a suntan. And this one is made possible with a lot of things. You have the citrus, but you also have pistachio. It's a much more complicated fragrance than it appears. And then Tom Ford has another one that captures skin, which is Soleil Brulant. And this one is super warm because it has a honeyed, burnt honey note to it. So it's very different. It's really capturing not the skin, but the sun reflection on the skin, if you can imagine that. And I think it does that wonderfully. It does that. And then of course we have Bronze Goddess, which I think it's a cross between the suntan and the sun-kissed. Like it says Bronze Goddess. I happen to think that Bdk, because of its dryness, is an all-season fragrance. It never tries to do more. It doesn't have a big sillage. It's an intimate. It's all about being composed, feeling elegant without overdoing anything. So, loving it. Loving it, loving it. So I would have to say that, I don't know, I said I wouldn't get it, but I feel like if someone really want a true minimalist, elegant and sophisticated approach to mineral skin-like fragrance, I think Bdk Sel d'Argent for someone like me would do it, actually, now that I think about it, approach. So there you have it, guys. That's my other Friday talk from the garden. I promise to do that a lot, as much as I could this summer. So I hope you enjoy this new episode on how perfumers try to capture the skin. And what am I wearing? What am I drinking this afternoon? This is organic grape and it doesn't have sulfur, from California. Free from artificial color, low sulfite, organic grape. So it's beyond clean. So yeah, cheers to you. That's my drink of the evening. I hope you've enjoyed. Until next time, bye guys.